the soft girl life is cute, but it's not for me. I
feel like falling in love. I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to roll something up. And I'm fucking something so.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Oh my god, that feels so weird to say. But my name is Bailey, and I'm gonna be doing a quick little get ready with me for my first video. I'm so excited. I'm so nervous. But yeah, so I just want to, do a little get to know me / things I've learned so far in my 20s. And so just to kick us off, I'm 25. I am from Alabama, but I currently live in Dallas, Texas. And I have lived in Dallas. It'll be 3 years next month. It's gone by so fast. Sorry, let me do this so y'all can see me. Oh, that's why the girlies do their brows off camera. I totally understand that now. So I'm going to skip through this part because it's very not important and I can't. Okay, so we're done with that. Back to what I was saying. I've been in Dallas for like 3 years. I moved here after I graduated college. A couple months after I graduated college, because obviously I had to find a job. And my parents are not just gonna let me just be like, oh, I want to move to Dallas. So, but yeah, I'm from Alabama. My parents actually live in Kansas, which is a trip. And we lived there when I was younger for like 4.5 years. My little brother was born there. He's actually the only one of us that was not born in Alabama, and is the only one of us that has a southern accent. So that is very strange. But so I've been out here about 3 years. I fell in love with Dallas my senior year of college. I came out here to visit a friend on fall break, and when I came out here to visit her, and I was like, this is where I need to be. It was poppin'. This is a really great place for, young Black people who are starting out in, their careers and just getting started in life. And I knew I didn't want to stay in Alabama, which is where I went to school. And I didn't want to live in Kansas with my parents because I didn't know anyone up there. It's cold. It's just not my vibe. And so, yeah, I moved to Dallas, and I really love it here. I graduated in 2019 with my bachelor's, and I actually just finished my master's this past December, so that was amazing. Got that over with. And while I was in college, I always thought about like starting a channel, but I don't know, I never really just like got into it. I'm like, I look so orange, but y'all promise I'm not gonna look like this. But I just never really got into it because, I was in school, I was involved in, organizations on campus, and I just didn't have the time. But I knew what content I wanted to make. I was gonna, I was natural, I had the big hair, I knew what I wanted to do, but I just felt like everybody was doing that at the time. And so it kind of discouraged me, I'm not gonna lie. And just the fact that I knew at the end of the day, I just didn't really have the time for it. But, now I'm done with school forever. I'm never going back to school. But I finished school, and I just thought, why not? I feel like my life is a bit more interesting now. Obviously, I'm grown. I'm in a big city. Me and my friends go out, we do things. And so I just figured, why not? And, I also realized I don't have to have a niche. Y'all, if y'all stick around, you're going to see a plethora of things. This is not one of those, soft girl channels, because the soft girl life is cute, but it's not for me. It's chaotic over here. And, I like the aesthetically pleasing things, the cute ice cubes and the matching glasses for my green juice. I do all of that, but that energy of just living life in my robe with my hair tied back and sipping a matcha while I journal, that's not my vibe. It's not what I do. But no shade, that's just not me. And so I just want to come on here and, you know, talk about my life and things that are happening, vlogs, do my makeup, do my hair, and just, you know, use this as another way to like learn myself. And if there's anybody out there like me, they have someone they can relate to, you know, because, you know, a lot of the girlies started their channels when they were 16, 18, 20, and I'm, you know, I'm 25, and I'm doing this a lot later than most people do. And I think that's like what really kind of like hindered me from doing this for the longest time. But you know, no time like the present, and if it doesn't take off, I can at least say I tried. And just think it would be a good idea. But so that brings me here to today, and I am doing a little get ready with me. I'm doing my makeup. I already did my hair for the most part. I just gotta like comb it out or whatever. But I am getting ready for brunch. It is Sunday, and if you know anything about Dallas, Sunday Fun Day is a big deal. Me and my friends are going out and to celebrate a little something, so it'll be good. I plan on vlogging, and so I will hopefully get some good content for y'all to see and just see a good time. But on to the actual like topic of the video. I really wanted to do, you know, like a few things I've learned in my 20s. Mind you, I didn't like list anything out, hence not soft girl, hence chaos. But yeah, one thing that I have really learned in my 20s, and something that has like stressed me out for the longest time, is to stop being afraid to get older. Like, I used to like really freak out about the fact that like, okay, like I'm in my 20s, I'm an adult, I have a career, like I have to have this life thing figured out. And that's so far from the truth from what I've learned. Granted, I still do like be like, oh damn, I'm about to be 30. Like, I'm 25 and I turned 26 in March. And it does hit me every now and then, because, you know, 30 is that number where it's like, you know, like some people feel like they really need to have everything figured out in their 30s. And I am trying to let that go, but clearly it's not working. I brought a napkin in here. Y'all, that's promise my makeup looks crazy until I actually finish. But I'm going to stop being afraid of aging. And you know, I'm single, and that comes with a whole other thing. Like, oh my God, like obviously I want to get married, but you don't have to be married by a certain time. This is me telling y'all that and me telling myself that. But getting older is a beautiful thing. Being on this planet and God allowing us to wake up every morning is a beautiful thing. And I want to have more experiences of like me getting older and experiencing life and just like taking in the moments with my family, my friends, my brother, like just enjoying all of the things that comes with aging and experiencing new days. And then another thing that I am so proud that I have done in my 20s is move. I am so glad that I got the hell out of Alabama. And mind you, no shade. I love Alabama. Alabama will always be home for me. But I had to go. I had to get out of there. I had to find a place for me where I can learn myself. And I always say, like, if you can afford it and you feel that you're capable of doing it, move away from your hometown. Give yourself at least 2 years in a completely different city. But my thing was, I was never going to move anywhere where I just straight didn't know anybody. Like, I could not have done that. Thank God I knew people here, which allowed me to have a bit of a safety blanket when I first moved out here. But I don't regret my time in Dallas. I feel like I've made the most discovery about myself here in Dallas, and just really learning a lot about myself and my triggers and my comfort zones. But with that being said, I do kind of feel like my time in Dallas is kind of like up. I am very open to moving, and I just want to kind of experience something different. Dallas has been, good for me, but over the past few years that I have lived in Dallas, while I am glad that I left my hometown and I didn't like move in with my parents or anything, it's been hard. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, it's been hard, just with everything that comes with adulthood, whether it be heartbreak, starting a career. And I moved to Dallas 2 months before the pandemic, so I got here and everything shut down like a month and a half later. So I spent my first year in Dallas in my house. And so that was very challenging. I really only knew my best friend at the time. Well, not at the time, she's still my best friend, but at the time she was the only person I knew here. It was just a really weird time. And then, once everything started to kind of open back up in 2021, the job I was at, I worked long hours, I worked weekends sometimes, and I just had no energy to even go out and do anything. And then so 2022, last year, was really my first year like going out, experiencing different things, and learning the city. I also got close with someone that I went to college with. We didn't know each other in college, and she moved out here, and we've built a friendship. And she was kind of like on the same time I was on, like, let's be outside, let's go explore. It was her first year in the city, so that was exciting. Getting to, we really had like a lot of firsts with each other here in Dallas, even though I've been here for a while. And so I'm really so happy that I was able to, meet her and have these experiences that I wasn't able to have when I first moved here. So I definitely think that I'm gonna give myself another year in Dallas and just kind of see how things go. And I really don't have any specific reason for moving, but I just want something a bit new, and it's not really linked to like dating or anything like that. Wow, if you know Dallas, like, the dating pool literally has pee in it, and I'm not under exaggerating. Like, I'm not over exaggerating. Like, literally, the men in Dallas like don't approach you. And apparently I've learned that that's like a Dallas thing. Like, the men here do not approach you, and it's like the weirdest thing, because I'm not gonna go up to you. Like, I'm not gonna approach a guy. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care what anybody thinks about that and how it may be hindering my dating life, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. And also, y'all, don't judge me for my beauty blenders being dirty. I did my makeup the other day and didn't have time to clean them, and y'all aren't even about to act like y'all clean y'all stuff after every single use. You're not about to do it, and you're not about to judge me for not doing it. First of all. But dating has been so weird in Dallas, and I found that like the guys that I have even entertained since I've been here aren't even from Dallas. Like, they're dudes that are like from either, unfortunately, back at home or like just other places that aren't Texas. And so that has been interesting, to say the least. But as I said earlier, I'm still very much single. But yeah, so I don't know, we'll see how 2023 is for me in Texas, and we'll go from there. Another thing that I have learned in my 20s is to really prioritize my health. Physical health, mental health, all that stuff. In undergrad, I was just happy to be alive. I was just doing anything to my body, eating anything, consuming anything, going off 2 hours to sleep like it was nothing. And somehow, I guess, the early 20, 18, 19-year-old body is like made for that. But this 25-year-old body is not. Like, I'm not equipped to handle that. And so one thing that I really prioritized in 2022 and was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this, I don't care what I have to do to understand it, I will, was my mental health. I just started randomly having anxiety in college when I was like see, it was like 2018, so maybe like 21, I just randomly started having panic attacks, and I couldn't understand why. So I never was like an anxious kid, and like when I was like suffering with it, I would talk to my mom a lot, and I asked her, I was like, was I like an anxious kid? Like, did I get nervous a lot? And she was like, no, you always like with your friends, like, and that's like what I remember. Like, I never remember just like being like a hermit and staying in the house. Like, that was never me. I was never that person. And you know, I started going to therapy. My college thankfully offered free counseling service, and I was able to connect with one of like a really great counselors on my campus. And I saw her for most of my senior year in college. And then when I moved to Dallas, I found another therapist. I'm actually my second therapist in Dallas because I stopped going because I felt better. But I don't know, just doing like some discovery with my body, I kind of, you know, came to the conclusion that it was my birth control making me feel the way I was feeling. And I never really came to that conclusion because I had been on birth control like 2 or maybe 3 years before I started having issues with my mental health. But, and this is not like to say that birth control is bad. I completely believe in birth control, and I am super open to like non-hormonal options. But I stopped taking birth control last March, and y'all, the difference that I feel just even in my personality is a complete 180. That doesn't go without saying. I did have like a pretty intense detox, which was crazy to me. But yeah, it was really, I really took 2022 to figure out why I was feeling how I was feeling, and how, like, why it was like taxing for me to even like leave my house some days just because I was so anxious all the time. And I'm finally like in a place where like that's not my personality anymore. I go out, I enjoy myself, I have fun, and it's just been a relief for me to know that like I wasn't like losing my mind. Like, there wasn't something like wrong with like me and my chemical makeup. It was something that I was, you know, able to remove from my life and balance out. And now I'm so grateful for that. The next thing I want to talk about is confidence, because confidence is so important. And I'm not just talking about looks. I'm talking about, you know, in the way that you feel about yourself, the way that you present yourself is so important to your overall, just like, I feel like, success and happiness as a woman, especially me as a Black woman. And for me, my confidence, I really didn't feel comfortable in my skin until, I swear to you, I was like 22 years old. And I don't know what it was, but I don't know, it was just like something like switched for me. And growing up, like, I wasn't like this like butt ugly little girl or whatever, but I spent most of the time from when I was 9 until about 18 in spaces where nobody looked like me. I was the only Black girl everywhere, and I definitely feel like that hindered my confidence in like major ways, because nobody was like checking for me. And I don't know, and I don't want to say that like my validation came from like guys giving me attention or anything like that, but like I didn't really hear like, oh my god, you're so pretty, or da da da. It was always like, you're pretty for a Black girl, or you're sweet for a Black girl. Like, those were always the comments that I got growing up. And I just never really felt just like pretty in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always for a Black girl, for a Black girl. And I don't know what it was. It was like around 2018. I think it was also when I went natural too. And I feel like I had to learn to just kind of like embrace the way that I looked. Like, I did full big chop. Like, my hair, I had like this much hair on the top of my head. And I just had to really like embrace that and get comfortable in my skin. And you know, I really didn't even start like dealing with guys until I got to college. Like I never dated in high school, and I was just so like awkward like when it comes to like guys and talking to boys. Like it was just never my thing. I always felt incredibly uncomfortable, and thank God I like grew out of that. But yeah, that was just kind of like my thing. And once I kind of just started like looking in the mirror some days, and I'd be like, wow, you're so pretty. And I would just say that to myself because that's just like genuinely how I felt. And I felt like it started to show in like different aspects of my life. I felt like I moved different. I was more confident in the decisions I was making, whether it be, you know, professionally or with school. Like I just overall became so much more comfortable with myself. And you know, I feel like a lot of our confidence gets wrapped up in outside validation. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, you know, while I am super confident, I've never, like, let that happen to me. Even after all of the work that I did on myself to feel comfortable with myself, I went through a situation that really shattered that. And I had to really, like, build that back up in myself. And I'm so grateful that I did, because now I feel so much better about myself. And I feel so much more comfortable with myself than I did even like 2 years ago. And that's really a blessing. I'm so happy to like be the person that I am and how I feel about myself. And like knowing what I will and won't tolerate from people, whether it be men, friends, family, like, or professionally. Like I know who I am as a person. Granted, I feel like I'm still evolving. Like who I am right now isn't going to be maybe who I am a year from now. That's just the case for anyone. But I definitely feel like no one can shake who I am and what I've worked on within myself. And the next topic, this is probably going to be the last one because I have really kind of like finished my makeup. I am going to show y'all like when I finish my hair and whatever outfit I decide to wear. I already know what purse I want to wear. But the last thing I want to talk about that I've learned really in 2022 that's really like set in for me is dating. Because I used to be Miss Lover Girl. This is my man, that's my man. You can't tell me no different. And I was delusional. But what I've learned is like dating can be whatever you want it to be. It can be you only want to entertain one guy at a time. It can be you're entertaining multiple people at a time, which is what I have grown to do, and I have no shame in that because guys do it all the time. And that what you think entertaining multiple people is, that is whatever you decide that to be. And I feel like there's no shame in doing whatever you are comfortable with and moving away from anything that makes you uncomfortable or you feel is beneath your standards. And I feel like these men are going to do whatever they want to do at the end of the day, so why can't I? And I, you know, this past year have really just like, I've dated multiple people, I've kicked it with multiple people, like I've just been enjoying getting to know people and getting to know guys like just on even like a friendship level, even if we only hung out one time and you know that was just kind of like it and there was no falling out or anything, but it just kind of, you know, the vibe wasn't there. Like that's okay. Every guy that you meet is not going to be your husband. It's not even going to be your boyfriend. So I feel like it's okay. Like if you meet a guy and he wants to take you on a date Friday, you have a great time, you're leaving that date to get into your car, you meet another guy and he wants to take you on a date next Friday, that's okay. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And obviously once you establish exclusivity with somebody, that's a whole different thing. But what I've really learned is to take my time you know, I used to have this whole feeling like, I want to be married by 30, I want to be married by 30. And if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. And I really feel like it's so important to take your time, and it'll come when it comes. Everybody says once you stop looking for a man is when they start coming, and I feel like that's what really happened to me last year. Like, I just started getting all this random attention for no reason because I was like, I'm done with these dudes, like I'm not entertaining them, and I happened to start doing that. But I feel like it's okay. Take your time out here, have fun, enjoy your 20s. Like, I am so happy that I've reached that mindset of like, okay, I'm just gonna chill, I'm gonna have fun, and whatever happens, happens. As long as I'm comfortable with myself, I'm, you know, spending time with my family, spending time with my friends, making strides in my career, like all the extra will come. And I'm no longer gonna make that my main focus. All right, so I'm going to finish my hair, figure out what I'm gonna wear, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, this is my outfit. I have a little pink shirt. Pink usually isn't really my color, but I was gonna wear something green and it just didn't fit. And so I have my little pink Tory Burch bag. I love this bag because it's so small. And I just have on clear heels because why not? My shirt is from Fashion Nova. I think I've had it a really long time. And I think my jeans are either Hollister or maybe Fashion Nova again. I really don't know. But yes. And oh, let me put on my watch. Y'all, Coach, these Coach watches, they did that. They did that. I am obsessed with these Coach watches. My dad got me both of them because I've somehow convinced him to buy me jewelry again. That's a whole other thing. Conversation for another day. But I have on my watch. I have 2 little permanent bracelets. I have some Tory Burch earrings and a necklace with my name on it that my mom got me. So I want to thank you guys for watching my first video. If you watched, if you stuck around this long, and more to come. Bye guys.